Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be trying to predict both the winners and all the participants for the men's and women's Elimination Chamber match. So get ready. We've got a lot to talk about. Look, it's very early. We have very little information. Specifically with the women's, I think that's the one we have the least information on. So will I be wrong? Most likely. But it's still fun. So nonetheless, we're going to give it the old college try, which basically just me staying up super late, working on my assignment, constantly getting distracted, drinking unbelievable amounts of coffee and soda, only to find out when I was done, it wasn't even due yet. So we're going to be starting off with the women's Elimination Chamber match, and we've got to start with what we know so far. So what we know for a fact, whether you like it or not, the fact of the universe, the one thing that we cannot change is that Charlotte Flair did win the 2025 Royal Rumble for the women. Ugh. Whatever. We can't change it. It's here. It's here to stay. So who is she going to face? And then that's going to help us figure out who's going to be in this Elimination Chamber match and who is probably going to win. So here are the three options for her right now. Now, I think there's two legitimate ones, so I'm going to start with the one I least think it is. I don't think it's going to be Julia. I don't think Charlotte's going for the NXT Women's title. I think they're using her, obviously, to promote the brand, although NXT is flourishing. So I don't even think that she needs this, really. And she's already done this, right? So she has a lot of history with Rhea Ripley, and she already went for the NXT title at a WrestleMania. I don't think they do that again. I think that's just not really a real option, but just one to kind of get eyes on the product of NXT. And sure, they absolutely did that already this past week. So that's what that is, in my opinion. And then you look at Rhea Ripley. Now, this one I think is a little bit more likely. Like, if I was WWE, here's how I would probably book this as, like, they fought twice at WrestleMania. They each got a win on each other. This is the grudge match, right? This is the one that is the decider of all things, and they love doing things in threes. So they might do that. Do I think they should do that? No. Do I want to see that? No. We've seen it twice. And so much time has passed. I don't feel like this one really needs to be, like, buttoned up. I think Rhea is just on her own planet right now. Like, I think she should be doing her own thing. I don't think this would benefit her in the same way that it would have in the past. And I don't think it would even benefit Charlotte in that regard, right? Winning or losing to Rhea Ripley or vice versa. It would just kind of be a whatever. They don't need each other right now, which is a good thing when you think about it. And so then that does lead me to the final option, the one I think it's going to be, which is Tiffany Stratton. So I do believe that Charlotte Flair is going to fight Tiffany at WrestleMania. She's the younger talent, right? She would absolutely benefit from beating Charlotte Flair. So I only think they should do this if Tiffany is going to win, okay? I don't think Charlotte should win anything at WrestleMania. Knowing WWE, she very well might. So with that being said, the reason I say all that is to say I think that we are trying to decide who's going to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania with this Elimination Chamber match, okay? So that's the direction I think that we're going to go. So with that, here we go. So right now we know for a fact Liv Morgan is in. She's the only participant that is actually in the Elimination Chamber right now, okay? So she beat Io Sky to claim that spot. So she's in it. We know that for a fact. Good for you. All right. I think that's a good move. I was absolutely devastated, though, because I wanted Io Sky in the match, but I also thought Liv should be in the match, too. So this was a lose-lose for me. Like, I'm so happy that Liv is in there, and we did a little seed planting with Io, at least, with Rhea Ripley costing her the match accidentally. So I'm going to leave that right there for a second, but I'm going to come back to that. I think that we're not quite done with Io just yet. And it's no secret, I'm a huge Io fan. She is, like, my favorite wrestler right now, currently, I think. And I'm discovering that for myself. Just the more I talk about her, the more I'm like, I think I like this wrestler. So we'll come back to that in a second. Moving on, we know for a fact that we're gonna have Bayley versus Lyra for that second spot in the Elimination Chamber. Okay, so that's gonna be on Raw, I think it is. So who's gonna win that match? I think you can make a case for both of these women winning, but at the end of the day, I think Bayley, the veteran, is gonna come out on top and be in the Elimination Chamber. Now, whether and honestly, I think that's a good move. I think you have a veteran like Bayley in the chamber. And that just helps elevate the match as a whole. I think Lyra will be totally fine. She's gonna need to do her own thing, in my opinion. What that is, I have no idea. They're not really showing in my opinion, the greatest story with her just yet. I don't even know what she's doing right now. But hopefully that will change. So I think Bayley goes in there, and that's what we're going to get for that. So those are the facts. Those are what we know. Okay? Now, everything past this point is completely speculation. I could be on the ball. I could be totally off the mark. Who knows? But with that, here we go. Who do I think is going to be the third entrant? All signs point to we need like a younger wrestler, like maybe somebody from NXT or somebody like that regard, right? Is what I think they need to do and what they're probably going to do. And who better, in my opinion, to take that slot and represent like the up-and-coming talent? Who better than the Iron Woman herself, Roxanne Perez? I think Roxanne Perez needs to be in this match. Will she be in it? I'm not sure, but I think she would absolutely benefit from being in the chamber, and the chamber would benefit from having her in there. Look, she already was the Iron Woman in the Royal Rumble, so I think you just double down on that and give her another great showing in the Elimination Chamber. I don't think she's going to win by any stretch of the imagination, but it would be good to have her in there and kind of get some more eyes on her, because I think we're just kind of trying to push her to eventually be on the main roster and then like a huge part of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we should do with that. Number 4 is interesting for me. Okay. I think maybe I'm picking with my heart here rather than my brain, which happens a lot in my life. I think that we need to have Alexa Bliss. Okay, so hear me out, right? So she made her Rumble debut, or her Rumble return, I should say. Coming back, huge pop of the night for sure. So again, I think we just ride that momentum and have her true first showing here. Because let's be honest, the pop was amazing. The reaction, incredible. The feelings, sentimental. Everybody was losing their minds. But when she got into the ring, not much happened. They didn't do enough with her spot, in my opinion. So I think that WWE should rectify that mistake and give her a slot in the chamber to really show what she's capable of again, right? Remind the audience why we loved her to begin with, right? Because she is a great performer. She has a great character. Let her do that. And I think, so I know I think people are obviously wanting her to be with the Wyatt Six, and I think she's going to absolutely do that. But that doesn't mean that she can't also be in the chamber. And with that, maybe they even have the Wyatt Six come into the chamber somehow. I don't know, or maybe she does something spooky in the middle of the ring. There's a lot of possibilities I think you could do with that. So I think that would be a really good choice. And then to really show again, like give her a real good showing in a multi-woman match. Moving on to somebody I am pretty confident is going to be in there. Number 5, I put as Bianca Belair, because why would you not put her in there? She just has that star power now that's just not going away ever, no matter what she does. And she's just phenomenal. So she's amazing in these types of matches. You have to put Bianca Belair in there. Enough said about that. It just wouldn't feel right without her in there. So she's going in. I'm pretty confident about that. And that leads me to my last pick for the Elimination Chamber, 6th spot, the final woman to enter this match, I think, is going to be none other than, drumroll please, Io Sky. That's right. Did she lose her qualifying match? Absolutely she did. Does that mean that she's going to be not in the Elimination Chamber? No, it doesn't, okay? Because this is WWE we're talking about. The door is never fully closed. Shenanigans are the heart and soul of this company and this product that we love. So I think she's going to slide her way in there somehow, some way. How? No clue. But I think she's going to find her way in there. And because it was not just a clean win, because it was a disqualification win, they left the door open just a little bit for us to see. And they also planted that seed of Io kind of turning on Rhea, because Rhea was the one who cost her that match, right? So that was a huge, gigantic seed planted right in front of us that I think when I look at the roster right now of like who could face Rhea Ripley, Io is the only one that comes to mind. Like if it's not going to be Charlotte Flair, I think you give that slot to Io Sky. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. All these people are going to be in it. I think one's going to emerge victorious. I think that person is going to be Io Sky. Now listen, maybe I'm blind, okay? Because she is one of my favorite wrestlers right now. I think she's underutilized like one of the most underutilized wrestlers in the business. So maybe I'm just speaking with my heart again. I think you give it to Io Sky. She goes to WrestleMania and she beats Rhea Ripley for the title. I'm calling it here right now. I think that's the way it should go. The pop would be amazing. It would finally give her like the WrestleMania moment I think she deserves. Let's do it. Let's do that. So there you go. That's what I think is going to happen for the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you strongly disagree. I think Io Sky is winning the whole thing. She's not even in the thing right now, and technically she's eliminated. But WWE, I know you've pulled things in the past. I think you're going to do one here. I think she's going to be the winner of this thing. Okay, so then let's move on to the Men's Elimination Chamber. Now this one, I think the writing is more on the wall than the women's one. Like I think there's a lot of possibilities for the Women's Elimination Chamber. I only see one for this one. I only see one possibility for the Men's Elimination Chamber match. And so before I get to that, I think we all know. I'll just say that. I think we all know. But let's talk about what we actually know for a fact in the WWE canon of things right now. So here's what we know. Jey Uso shocked the world to become the Royal Rumble winner for the men's 2025 Royal Rumble. Nobody saw it coming. Everybody thought it was John Cena. So he has two options. He can either go and try to knock off Gunther for the first time, finally get that done, or he can give up and go after Cody Rhodes. So look, that's the story. Jey Uso versus Gunther has to happen at WrestleMania. It would make zero sense. It would make less than 0 cents for him to go after Cody Rhodes and be like, you know what, you're right, Gunther, I can't beat you, so I'm going to go a different way because I am not going to even try, right? So that has to be the story. There's no way they don't do that. So that's what I'm thinking of. This is, okay, who's going to fight Cody is what I'm thinking. Okay, so now talking about what we know as far as who's in. So we already know that two people are definitely in. So we know that John Cena declared himself Mr. I don't want to be given an opportunity, did not have to fight a qualifying match, just declared himself for the Elimination Chamber. Love you, John, but you did indeed do that. So he's number one. He's definitely in it. And then we also know that CM Punk is now in it after defeating Sami Zayn on last week's Raw. So John Cena, CM Punk, great names to be in this thing. It's already going to be star-studded. So we know they're going the star route for sure. Okay? So those two are in. And we know that next week we're going to have Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul to decide that third spot. So who's going to be in it? Look, it has to be Logan Paul. You need him for the clicks. You need him for the views. He's always in these multi-man matches. He's always really good at them too. That's why you have a Logan Paul on the roster, right? So there's absolutely no way he's not in this match. So that one I'm 100% confident. It's going to be Logan Paul. It's going to be John. It's going to be CM Punk. So then who's left? So now we're in speculation land starting here. But even then, I feel like we're in like speculation city. Like it's not even the full land because the writing is on the wall, guys. We know the seeds that have been planted. We know the feuds that have been brewing. So let's get into it. So for the fourth and fifth spot, I'm going to say these two together. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins and it's got to be Drew McIntyre because they're in the midst of a blood feud with CM Punk. It makes no sense for them not to be in this match and to further that story. And we're already getting teased that CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns are expected to be in a triple threat match for nothing. Just that WrestleMania. But here's a little mini rant about that because I'm putting Drew in here and Seth and not Roman. I'll get to that in a second. But why is Drew not mentioned in this match? Like, why is it not a fatal four-way? I feel like all four of them could face each other and it would make total sense. I don't know what Drew's going to do if he's not trying to fight them. Like, if he hates them so much, why would he just sit in the back and not be like in the match? Like, he's just going to be like, I guess I'll just let them take care of themselves. Like, I thought he was the one that wanted to take down Roman Reigns once and for all. And everybody else for that matter. So I don't know what they're doing with Drew at the moment. I've been disappointed because I thought he was going to go on a rampage when he mentioned that he was going after every single person associated with the bloodline. But so far, that hasn't really been the case. He's been getting beaten and beaten and beaten. And now he's not even talked about in the triple threat match. It's CM Punk, it's Seth, it's Roman. Drew is nowhere mentioned. Maybe they'll use that to fuel him. Maybe they'll use that in the story that he keeps getting overlooked like this. But I think you at least put him in the chamber. Between two people. Now, I've heard AJ Styles' name go around. Okay, and I know that he's going to make an appearance on Raw, so that's a pretty strong case for that. And he has just returned with the Rumble. and I've heard, and obviously Roman Reigns is another obvious pick. Between them, I don't think Roman Reigns is going to be the guy, because they're selling his injuries like they're a major thing. Like, he's going to be out for a long time. So I think they just don't want him to be in this picture right now. I think that's an excuse to get him out of Elimination Chamber contingency, because like, you know, it makes sense too, because why would Roman not want to go for the title if he's healthy and ready to go? Like, no, he's got to be injured. And then that way he misses the Elimination Chamber and just goes to WrestleMania for this feud, right? So with that being said, look, I think AJ Styles is obviously the clear pick for this. AJ's coming back to Raw. I think he's going to announce maybe like a qualifying match or something like that. And I think he's going in the thing. So we have AJ. I think we have Drew. I think we have Seth. I think we have Logan Paul, CM Punk, John Cena. I think that's the Elimination Chamber match for the men's. And what a great match that's going to be. Those are all amazing names to have in this thing. Like, I'm just super excited because there is so many stars on the roster right now. It's just, it's an amazing time. Amazing time to be a fan, for sure. So with that, who's going to win? Obviously, the obvious winner, the one that everybody thinks is going to win and should headline WrestleMania and should get his feel-good moment and should bathe in the spotlight and the glory. That's right, everybody. I'm talking about Logan Paul. No, absolutely not. No, it's obviously John Cena. John Cena is the obvious winner for this thing, because if you look at the facts, they are going to do what they're probably going to do, I should say. It's not totally officially announced. CM Punk, Seth, and Roman. I think they should put Drew in there too. If they don't do that, I don't know what Drew's going to do, because I don't see him going against Cody Rhodes for the title. There's just nothing there right now. So those guys definitely aren't going to win. I don't think they push like an AJ Styles, or even if Roman does enter the chamber, which I don't think he's going to, I don't see him winning the thing either, because he's going to be in that triple threat match. AJ's still pretty fresh. It would be kind of weird to just jolt him straight to the, although that would be amazing match. Talking about Cody Rhodes versus AJ. That would be an amazing match for WrestleMania, but I don't think we're going to have it just yet, because the obvious story, the bigger story for headlines, is John Cena, who's trying to get his 17th world title. I think it's going to be John Cena winning. It's going to be John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. He's going to get his title match. It's going to be huge. That's going to absolutely, if they're trying to make headlines, sell tickets, that's going to be a huge match. And I think he's going to lose. And I think he should lose. Like, could you imagine John Cena getting so close, finally getting into the main event that he earned, and then losing to Cody Rhodes? I absolutely think that's the direction we need to go. It's going to just fuel him even more. It's going to be heartbreaking. We're probably going to cry. And knowing WWE and knowing Triple H, the Triple H era that we're in right now, look, they did it with Cody. They're going to do it with him. Like, he's only here for a year, absolutely, but you got to make the most of that year. So I think we're not giving him the title until much later in the year. Like, you know, WrestleMania is just too quick around the corner to then, look, you won. Okay, now you're going to go on like a, 5-6 month parade with the title and then leave forever. No, I think we're going to give him a proper story of heartbreak and battle and grit and having to keep going even after losing the big one. I think that's the direction we go. So yeah, that's what I think, and that would be awesome. I would love to see that. Now, to sum it all up, Io Sky's going to WrestleMania. John Cena's going to WrestleMania. According to this guy, should you believe me? I mean, I don't have any credit to my name. I'm just a fan like you guys, so I'm just speculating, right? Now, let me know what you think about the speculations. We're obviously going to know more in the future, and I'll probably make an update of this once we know all of the participants, because some of these people might not even be in the damn match. So we'll see what happens. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give it a like, subscribe, and follow if you did, because I'm going to be posting more and more content like this, as well as reviews, stuff like that, everything surrounding wrestling. So if you like wrestling, if you're a fan, come by, hang out, chat, let me know what you think. All right, see you next time.